The great state of Texas will be the first state to secede from the Union. Over the weekend, we had breaking news from Governor Rick Perry, who suggested and indicated on the Glenn Beck radio show that the state of Texas wants its gold back. Over $1 billion worth of gold bullion physically removed from the New York Federal Reserve and placed on hand in a secure location in the state of Texas. Now, why would Texas and its citizens want this? There's a number of reasons why. Reason number one is to prevent panic from spreading during an upcoming bank run. Just like we've seen in Cyprus over the weekend, the haircuts, the taxation without representation, which started at about 10-15%, has worked its way up to 40%, up to 60%, all the way up to 100% of the account value over $100,000 euros in the Eurozone region. This is outright stealing. Stealing being the key word. Now, of course, this contagion will spread in the not-too-distant future to other countries in the Eurozone. This includes countries like Italy, Spain, Portugal, Ireland, and even more solvent countries like Germany. Since their integration and since the bank bailouts, which started in 2008, all of these countries are now physically diseased. It gives the great state of Texas the ability to protect its people and to protect its citizens from panic during an upcoming bank run. Remember, in the 1930s, we had this such scenario where thousands, if not millions of Americans showed up to their respective banks asking for their deposits back, only to learn that the fractional reserve banking system in existence, which is still in existence to this day, is operating a legitimate Ponzi scheme. No different from the Ponzi scheme that Bernie Madoff had been running and that landed him in federal prison for life. Reason number two is that in an upcoming secession scenario, the state of Texas can also issue its own currency, backed by this bullion, backed by over $1 billion. Now, politicians, Rick Perry and others may be beating around the bush, but this will give Texas, which really can operate almost like its own independent country to this very day, could issue its own currency and could create a new monetary system in a post-collapse situation or scenario in the U.S. Just like Russia collapsed, and that shocked many, the United States is on the verge of collapse, and in my opinion is living through this systemic breakdown as I delivered this video. The third reason why the state of Texas would want its gold bullion back is it sets a very important precedent to other states. It sets a precedent to states like Arizona and Nevada and all others that, look, you better get your gold back. Otherwise, the federal government and the Federal Reserve System itself will be calling the shots in a post-collapse scenario. Now, what do you think that the Federal Reserve or the New York Federal Reserve that stores Texas gold would say during a collapse situation? Do you think that they would release that gold bullion to Texas? Now, of course, civil war is coming to the United States. The Department of Homeland Security has been arming up in record numbers, has purchased over 2 billion rounds of ammunition, crippling the supply lines. This has been reported by mainstream outlets, not just alternative media outlets like AMTV Media, all the way from Forbes and thousands and countless other reports. This has now become a mainstream discussion in American politics. The question is why? Why would the federal government, the Obama administration, be purchasing over 360,000 newly purchased rounds, hollow points, these extremely dangerous instruments that are not training ammunition and are not used for training purposes, but are used for a real-life scenario war situation and are used to kill people? This is all reaching a boiling point in the United States today, and the writing is on the wall. Not only is the United States operating a monetary Ponzi scheme, just like Europe, and not only are we getting a sneak peek of what's going to come to the United States, not the 2008 church picnic that we just all experienced that resulted in a cataclysmic market event that shocked capital markets around the world, raped American citizens, promoted and caused millions of people to go into foreclosure, short sale, and bankruptcy. We're talking about the mother of all systemic shocks that will literally end the United States financial system for good. Just like the collapse of the USSR was a shock to many around the world, and especially its Russian citizens, it will be very much the same shock and awe effect here in the United States. It's why liberty-minded states like Texas and others soon to follow, in my opinion, are explicitly telling the Federal Reserve and our federal government that they will not allow this tyranny, they will not allow this centralization of power. Not only do they want their gold back, but we want our guns back, and we want our Constitution back, our Bill of Rights, and the ability to live good and regular lives, and to protect our family, and to just be good citizens that love and respect the constitutional republic as it was set up by our founding fathers. Please get this report out to as many people as you can. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and get it out to the viewing public. I'm Christopher Green, and as always, hard-hitting and in your face.